From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana, Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. The ceasefire agreement in Gaza has sparked mixed reactions. Celebrations have been tempered by skepticism as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu delayed a cabinet vote on the deal, claiming Hamas violated the terms. Hamas denies the accusation, saying it has agreed to the ceasefire deal brokered by mediators in Qatar's capital, Doha. Negotiations continue, with Israel's Mossad chief David Barnea finalizing finer details. Mediators report progress despite new issues raised by Israel. Hamas insists on its commitment to the agreement. This is not the first time Netanyahu has scuttled ceasefire talks by pulling the plug at the last moment. Far-right Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich's party has threatened to exit Netanyahu's government unless the Gaza offensive resumes. Meanwhile, White House official John Kirby expressed confidence that the ceasefire will proceed. The truce, brokered by Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S., includes a 42-day ceasefire, a prisoner exchange, and Israeli troop withdrawal. The first phase includes releasing prisoners, Israeli withdrawal from populated Gaza areas, and humanitarian aid. Phases 2 and 3 will address remaining prisoners, a permanent ceasefire, and Gaza's reconstruction. President-elect Donald Trump and his envoy Steve Witkoff helped broker the deal by applying pressure on Netanyahu. Axios reports that Witkoff has warned Netanyahu that Trump is serious about the Gaza deal and has urged him not to derail it. Israel has killed at least 81 Palestinians, including 20 children and 25 women, in airstrikes across Gaza since the ceasefire deal was announced yesterday. More than 230 others were injured, Gaza Civil Defense reports. Most casualties occurred in Gaza City, where 61 people were killed. An Israeli airstrike in Sheikh Radwan neighborhood killed 20 people, including women and children, eyewitnesses said. Strikes on Rimal and Adarash neighborhoods left 9 dead. A girl was killed in Shaja'iyah and 3 Palestinians were killed in Tel al-Hawa. In central Gaza, 3 people were killed in a drone attack on Nusayrat refugee camp, while southern Khan Yunis saw 2 fatalities in another airstrike. Local sources also reported intense artillery fire in several eastern Gaza neighborhoods. The violence comes amid the announcement of a ceasefire agreement brokered by Qatar, set to start on Sunday. The war, which has been ongoing for 467 days, has killed more than 46,700 Palestinians and injured over 110,000 since October 2023. Most of the dead are women and children. It has displaced thousands and caused widespread destruction, worsening a dire humanitarian crisis. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israeli leaders over alleged war crimes. Israel also faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice. President-elect Donald Trump's Secretary of State pick, Senator Marco Rubio, has criticized the International Criminal Court, or ICC. Rubio claims the arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant damaged the ICC's credibility. Speaking at his Senate confirmation hearing, Rubio warned that targeting non-member nations like Israel sets a dangerous precedent. He suggested the ICC might later target U.S. leaders and service members. Rubio accused Hamas of intentionally targeting Israeli civilians during the October 7, 2023 attacks, but dismissed claims that Israel was deliberately targeting civilians. Rubio also proposed revoking U.S. visas for individuals supporting Hamas. The ICC issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant in November, accusing them of war crimes in Gaza. Israel also faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice for its war on the enclave. Biden is removing Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism. The move, coordinated with the Catholic Church under Pope Francis, follows assurances that Cuba has not supported terrorism in the past 6 months and would not in the future. Biden will also waive parts of a 1995 law tightening the U.S. embargo on the country. As well, he will reverse a directive issued under President-elect Donald Trump in his first term, increasing economic pressure on Cuba. White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre said Cuba has committed to releasing a substantial number of political prisoners soon. Analysts say this marks a shift in U.S. policy, focusing on empowering the Cuban people and advancing human rights. Biden credits Latin American leaders and the Catholic Church for their guidance in shaping these actions. However, President-elect Donald Trump, who is set to return to office Monday, may reverse these changes. President Joe Biden delivered his farewell address on Wednesday, reflecting on his presidency. He highlighted challenges during his term, including the COVID-19 pandemic and the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, while praising America's resilience. Biden defended his foreign policy and his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Afghanistan, despite criticism over the chaotic exit. He celebrated economic achievements, job creation, and investments in infrastructure, as well as clean energy under his leadership. Biden emphasized unity and the enduring belief in equality as central to America's identity. His approval rating stands at 39%. Biden called serving as president a privilege, saying, "I have given my heart and soul to this nation." He assured Americans he will remain engaged after leaving office. President-elect Donald Trump is set to take office on Monday. Imam invited to Trump inauguration. Details after the break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. An imam has been invited to deliver a benediction at President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday. Husham al-Husseini, an Iraqi-American imam from Dearborn, Michigan, leads the Karbala Islamic Education Center and supported Trump in the 2024 election. He claimed Trump's policies aligned with religious texts and peace goals. Dearborn is home to a significant Muslim population and was pivotal in Trump's win. Many Arab American voters in the swing states supported him to protest Democratic policies, which continuously supported Israel's genocide in Gaza. Trump gained 32% of the Muslim vote, and his support in Michigan proved decisive. Al-Husseini has been criticized for past statements, including a 2022 interview praising Iran's influence, as well as hosting rallies with anti-Saudi sentiments. House Speaker Mike Johnson said flags will be flown at full staff at the Capitol on President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration day on Monday. He added that the flags would return to half-staff the following day to continue honoring former President Jimmy Carter, who died on December 29th at age 100. Carter is being honored with a 30-day national mourning period. President Joe Biden ordered the flags to be flown at half-staff through sunset on January 28th. TikTok users in the U.S. are bracing for a potential ban, which is set to take effect this Sunday. As uncertainty looms, many are switching to another Chinese app called Red Note. The U.S. Supreme Court is deliberating whether to ban TikTok or force its sale to an American firm, citing national security concerns. ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, denies the allegations. Meanwhile, Red Note has surged in popularity, becoming the top downloaded app on the U.S. App Store. More than 160,000 posts under hashtag TikTok refugee highlight the trend. Chinese users are welcoming Americans to the platform in lighthearted exchanges. Outgoing President Joe Biden supports the ban, while incoming President Donald Trump opposes it and seeks an emergency review. Experts say the final decision could reshape the social media landscape and affect millions of users. American authorities are investigating a tunnel found between Juarez and El Paso in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico on January 14th. On the Mexican side, 2 agents and a National Guard patrol car are guarding the entrance to the tunnel. On the American side, Border Patrol officers are conducting an inspection along the border. Authorities aim to complete their investigation before permanently sealing the underground passage. The tunnel was closed January 10th by Mexican and U.S. authorities. It was equipped with electrical installations and ventilation systems, making it viable for human trafficking. The World Economic Forum's Global Risks Report has highlighted major threats for 2025. These include state-based armed conflicts, misinformation, and environmental crises. The document notes rising geopolitical tensions and fragmentation make armed conflict the most immediate risk, as cited by nearly 25% of survey respondents. Disinformation and misinformation further fuel instability and erode trust in governance. Long-term risks are dominated by environmental challenges like extreme weather, biodiversity loss, and resource shortages. Pollution's health and ecosystem impacts remain pressing short-term concerns. Artificial intelligence contributes to technological and environmental risks. More than half of respondents foresee instability within 2 years due to weakened international cooperation. The report emphasizes the urgent need for global collaboration to counter fragmentation and tackle these interconnected risks effectively. The United Nations has sounded the alarm on Yemen's deepening humanitarian crisis. More than 19 million people are in need of assistance in 2025, 1.3 million more than last year. Acting UN Humanitarian Relief Chief Joyce Msuya revealed 17 million Yemenis face severe food insecurity, with malnutrition affecting nearly half of children under 5. Msuya also highlighted the devastating impact of Israeli airstrikes on the cities of Hodeidah and Sana'a. These have damaged vital civilian infrastructure, including key ports essential for food and medical imports. Cholera outbreaks and the displacement of 4.8 million people have compounded the crisis. 1 in 5 Muslim women in the UK experienced hate crimes in the past year, according to the Muslim Women's Network UK. Baroness Shaista Goher, who is also a House of Lords member, highlighted the alarming trend at a Women and Equalities Committee meeting. She linked the rise of what she called gendered Islamophobia to negative political rhetoric, online hate, and public commentators. Goher called for equal treatment of racial and faith-based hate crimes under the law, citing their shared intent to incite hostility and violence. She urged defining these attacks as gender-based violence, noting that most perpetrators of hate crimes against Muslim women are white men. Muslim women and girls are especially vulnerable due to visible identifiers like headscarves and traditional Islamic clothing. Goher stressed these crimes occur on the streets and online, demanding urgent action to protect victims. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. Donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.